Blast off. Hello.
Hi, friends.
How are you?
Hope it's a good week.
Yeah.
Hope you got some good news this week.
Yeah.
Maybe you got a raise this week.
Maybe
you got the job offer you were for your dream job.
Yeah. Maybe your wife touched your wiener this week.
Oh.
Maybe. You never know.
Or if you don't have a wiener, but your wife touched you.
That too.
Listen, even if you don't have a wiener attached to your body because of biology, genetics, whatever, I hope she touched your silicone one. Or whatever. You might be one that's in the glass too.
Yeah.
That freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, it does. That's kind of weird.
But
anyway, we're talking about the moon. Because the night that this episode goes up is the night of a full moon.
Is that why we chose this? Because
yeah.
I could not remember.
Yeah. So for February, we were like, what can we talk about that we haven't already talked about? And I saw that there was a full moon, so I suggested this. And then I'll tell you about the moon. And then you'll tell us some things you can do to utilize the moon when you want to be, or when you are in love, or, you know, whatever you want to be. I don't know, whatever you came up with. But I'll go first. For the modern conjurer or occultist, the moon phases are very important as they are indicative of the appropriate times to cast or make important decisions. Humans have been using the moon for timing since the dawn of humanity, whether it is for calendric purposes, agriculture, or seasonal. The moon has played a central role in the human experience of time. Several cultures throughout history have utilized a lunar calendar to schedule their holidays or religious rites, such as the Chinese calendar, where specific holidays are held on the same moon phase every year. Also, the timing of Ramadan and even the determination of Easter in Christianity is based on the moon phases. The classification of the moon phases has changed throughout history, but in contemporary moon magic, sources identify 8 distinct moon phases, which each beginning at roughly 45-degree intervals. It is more common for historical texts to only have 4 moon phases with 90 degrees between each. These are often divided into categories called principal phases and intermediate phases. The new moon is a principal phase and is characterized by the moon being invisible due to her being close with the sun. The crescent moon is an intermediate phase and is characterized by the first time the moon is visible in the west at sunset. First quarter moon is a principal phase, and here the moon is half full while continuing to increase in light. The gibbous moon is an intermediate phase, and here the moon is more than half full and is still increasing in light. Full moon. What is he doing?
I've got my mouse on this pillow over here.
Yeah.
And so I'm holding my hand on the mouse, and he's wanting me to move my hand so bad so he can have this pillow. He just keeps standing on it and like pawing at it and then looking at me.
Ziggy. Full moon is a principal phase, and this is characterized by the moon's face being completely veiled in light, and she is considered to be at her most powerful at this stage, but she does begin to lose light. The disseminating moon is an intermediate phase, and here the moon is beyond her peak and is losing light, but has not lost a whole half yet. Third quarter moon is a principal phase that is marked by the moon being half full and losing light. Balsamic moon is an intermediate phase where the moon has lost nearly all of her light and appears as a very slim crescent prior to becoming totally invisible. In the contemporary moon magic, often view the lunar phases as equal divisions of the lunar cycle. Each of the 8 phases takes up 45 degrees of the circle and lasts for the durations of the moon's stay through those degrees of the zodiac, which will be roughly 3.5 days worth of time. In a more historical approach, with only 4 phases of the moon cycle, they view the cycles more as pivot points. The new moon is not considered to be a phase of the moon, but more like a meaningful point along her phase. This is a direct reflection of the sun's seasonal cycle, where the solstices and equinoxes are specific points that occur while announcing seasonal shifts. Due to this, historical grimoires typically only reference 2 phases: waxing, when the moon is increasing in light, and waning, when the moon is decreasing in light. And these 2 distinct phases have opposite meanings and applications. The waxing moon is connected to growth and increase, while the waning moon is associated with decay and decrease. The basic idea is that when the moon is waxing, it is a great time to do magic that is more geared toward growth and gaining, such as wealth, health, career advancement, etc. The waning moon is more suited for banishment and decrease, such as cleansing, space clearing, habit breaking, etc. A classic astrological grimoire from the 10th century called Pediatric says, after the moon separates from the sun until her sinister square, and thence until she reaches opposition, she will always be good and appropriate for buying and selling, seeking judgments and loans, for disputations, and for seeking advice on any subject. After she separates from opposition, passing by the dexter square, and thence towards her conjunction with the sun, she will be good and appropriate for seeking loans that we owe, for those who have the goods of others to return them, and for wisdom and seeking or inquiring after truth. The monthly lunar cycle that we are familiar with is called the synodic cycle. This refers to the cycle a planet has from one conjunction with the sun until the next. The moon's cycle occurs monthly and is tracked from new moon to new moon. Astrologically, these cycles are important and are conceptualized as the closest thing that the immortal planets have to a human life cycle. By understanding the lunar phases as the story of a life, or the progressions of the seasons, we get a better insight into why the moon's phases were characterized the way they were by our ancient ancestors. The moon is born at the conjunction with the sun, and then, as she moves away from him and begins to make herself visible to the world, she experiences something like infancy and childhood. The young moon exists until she comes to the first quarter phase, which is a phase that is most like spring. Here, the moon is young, energetic, flexible, and the perfect moon for magic that requires that sort of energy. The time between the first quarter and the full moon is the moon experiencing her adolescence and early adulthood. The moon is primarily filled with light and experiences of her cycle, which makes her more visible and confident in her identity. This moon is the most like summer and can be forceful, assertive, self-assured, and focused. This moon is ideal for magics that require the same sort of quiet confidence. The full moon, while we regard this as a phase, is more like a moment. In this phase, the moon reaches fullness when she comes to the exact opposition of the sun. This serves as the peak of the lunar cycle. She has reached her limit, both in the amount of light she can carry and the space she can be distant from the sun. Here, the moon experiences a midlife crisis of sorts and is fully aware that she has gathered all that she can and that now she must return what she has borrowed. This is an awkward time for magic, as the full moon represents the liminal space between the waxing and waning phase, and magic woven during the peak of the full moon may be beneficial for things that must occur now. Otherwise, it will bring things into manifestation quickly and immaturely, which robs seekers of the time they need to root and gestate safely. From the peak of the full moon to the third quarter phase, the moon begins her waning phase and begins to let go and return to the sun. This moon phase is reminiscent of the autumn season. She is advancing into her late adulthood, losing her vitality and brightness. She releases the things she no longer needs, and even things she may have once been excited about in her more youthful phases. This phase is focused, dispassionate, logical, and cold. It is filled with the perspective of a life half lived in order to judge the things she is no longer in need of or dreams that she may no longer wish to invest in. Magic with these same goals that is done under this phase will prosper. At the third quarter phase, she approaches her old age and advances to the finale of her cycle. This moon is much like winter. She is aged, cold, and weak. She maintains her perspective of the experiences she has had, but unlike with previous things, she is no longer concerned about things she should let go of, and now has the wisdom to know what things in life to treasure and pass down. Knowing what awaits at the end of her journey, the moon ties up her loose ends, says goodbye to what she will leave behind, and rests easy knowing it was all as it was meant to be. Finally, the moon approaches the union with the sun and undergoes an intense purification. She releases and processes all that she has accumulated along her journey and fills herself with the divine spark to do it all over again. This new moon phase is a difficult period for the moon. It is another space between waxing and waning. Rituals and magic done at this time may struggle for visibility and the correct amount of awareness to bring them into being. This cycle is slightly different today than it has been historically. To be more accurate, the moon's conjunction with the sun ends the previous cycle, but it is the next day when the moon is visible again as a thin crescent that the cycle begins again. This is why most lunar calendars, like the Chinese and Hebrew calendars, begin their lunar month the day after the new moon. And historically speaking, this popular present-day practice is not found in classical astrological grimoires. Instead, the key points of the new and full moon are regarded as astrologically difficult times for the moon, as they coincide with challenging points in her relationship with the sun. The new moon occurs when the moon is overpowered by the sun once again. This is difficult for the moon because she is invisible and essentially inert. Here, the moon undergoes what is called combustion, and she is purified in order to begin her new cycle. But during this process, she is weak. At one moment, she is experiencing the frailty of old age, and in the next moment, the vulnerability associated with birth and infancy. The full moon is the time when many consider the moon to be at her most powerful and complete. But here she experiences a difficult geometric relationship with the sun, where she is directly opposite him and facing the fire, so to speak. Additionally, the full phase represents the middle point of the moon's life cycle, a peak where the only place to go is down. For these reasons, magic with the moon at this time used to be considered undesirable, as she has completed her waxing phase but has yet begun to wane. This makes it an awkward time for magic that naturally aligns itself with either phase. It wasn't until the 1950s and the advent of modern Wiccan religion that full moon magic was popularized. The magical tradition of practitioners gathering under a full moon is referred to an espot, and those who are not part of a group tend to use this time for personal spellcasting. These traditions have heavily borrowed from the lore of lunar phases, but have approached them with their own ideology, which doesn't necessarily coincide with traditional and historical astrological lore. To the astral mage, the full and new moon is less important or useful for spellcasting, but what really matters is whether she is waxing or waning, and what zodiac sign she is placed in, and to what planet she is applying a geometric aspect. The combination of these placements characterizes the flow of natural energy much more clearly. And historically speaking, those who were less aware of the celestial mechanics at play would be more likely to turn to almanacs for guidance. These books would typically include a list of lucky and unlucky days, which took much of this into account.
Nice.
I really like the idea of thinking of the moon like every month is a life cycle.
Right.
Like putting that into perspective, like typing it out.
Yeah.
I felt quite emotional, like thinking about every month. Like if she were a person, every month.
Yeah.
She is, I don't know.
Doing it all over again.
Yeah.
Over and over and over.
So it was, I don't know. I really enjoyed that take on it. So that's why I kept like adding to it as I was doing my notes.
So I have to tell you, the way, since I scooted over, your front legs of your desk lines up perfectly with the middle of my table.
Yeah.
And so just like when I'm looking at the computer screen, no, you didn't mess me up. She moved it. But as I'm looking at the computer screen, in my brain, I've got a middle bar here on my table, so I kept trying to not hit it so it wouldn't knock over my drink. And then just as you were finishing up, I realized that it was your desk I was seeing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ziggy is now laying on top of my hand while it's on the mouse. So, let's talk about how to incorporate the full moon with love. So, the full moon's radiant glow is more than just a beautiful sight. It carries powerful energy that aids in manifestation and setting intentions. For centuries, people have harnessed the celestial power to invite love into their lives, whether it's to deepen existing relationships or find a soulmate. In this, we're going to explore a little bit more about full moon intentions for love and rituals designed to manifest romantic desires. So, to tap into the full moon's energy, it's essential that you pay attention to the significance of it. The full moon represents a peak in energy, making it the perfect time for setting intentions. As the moon reflects the maximum light of the sun, symbolizes abundance, growth, and the blossoming of desires. By focusing your thoughts and emotions on this, we can channel this powerful energy to manifest our dreams. So, what your intentions for love should be: you want to attract a soulmate. You're going to write down the qualities, values, and characteristics that you want in a partner. Place that paper under a pink or red candle that symbolizes love and light it. Visualize yourself with your soulmate, feeling love and joy that you wish to experience. Express gratitude as if the connection has already come into being, and let the candle burn out or extinguish it safely, keeping the paper as a reminder of your intention. If you want to strengthen an existing relationship, you would create a sacred space filled with sentimental items that represent love. Light a white candle for purity, and then a red one for passion. Reflect on the love that you share with your partner, and then write and read aloud a heartfelt letter expressing your love, appreciation, and commitment. Burn the letter to symbolize releasing your intentions and gratitude into the universe. And then if you want to heal emotional wounds, find a quiet place to relax. Light a blue or a white candle for healing and tranquility. Close your eyes and breathe deeply and visualize a soothing light healing emotional wounds or past traumas. Repeat affirmations like I am worthy of love and deserve to be cherished to promote healing and open yourself to receiving love. So if you're looking for like a full moon ritual to amplify the energy of your intentions, perform a full moon love ritual. Steps to make these a powerful experience. Find a serene location or create a peaceful indoor space where you can connect with the moon's energy. Light a white candle to symbolize divine energy and clarity. Place a rose quartz, known as the stone of unconditional love, on your altar or carry it with you. Write your love intentions on a clean sheet of parchment paper. Or it just says parchment or paper. I'm sorry, not parchment paper. Speak your intentions aloud, focusing on the emotions and details of your desires. Hold rose quartz and infuse it with your intentions. Meditate, visualizing your desires manifesting. Express gratitude for the love that is coming or already exists in your life. Once you finish, fold the paper and place it under a rose quartz. Leave the items on your altar overnight under the moonlight, allowing the energy to enhance your intentions. In the morning, thank the moon and carry the rose quartz as a reminder of your intentions. Believing in the moon's energy and power of your intentions is key. By aligning your thoughts and emotions with lunar rhythms, you amplify your ability to manifest love. The full moon is an ideal time for deepening romantic connections and manifesting desires, whether you're seeking a soulmate, healing emotional wounds, or strengthening an existing relationship. The full moon does offer the opportunity to align with its energy and attract what you're looking for. Hold on. I think I already read that and I'm rereading it. For some reason it's on here twice. So anyway, this being a time of culmination and fruition, this can help amplify your intentions that you set during the new moon. Lunar energy influences us in many ways, including sleep patterns and emotions, with some experiencing heightened feelings of restlessness. Embracing this energy can lead to spiritual growth and transformation. So I have a list of 13 moon rituals to consider for harnessing its power. Make moon water. Place just some water under the full moon overnight to charge it with that lunar energy. If you really want to be cool about it, I thought about this not too long ago. Just buy like a 40 pack of water bottles and stick them outside overnight. And boom, 40 bottles of moon water right there. You can also charge your crystals. This will cleanse and charge them with energy. You can hold a full moon circle, gather with friends to set intentions, share experiences, and clear the energy together. Do an oracle or tarot reading. This would be an ideal time for divination. Take a full moon bath. Submerge yourself in water while visualizing the moon's energy, healing, and restoring you. I would give anything to have like an outdoor bathtub where like in the summertime, I can take a bath outside if I want to. Like under a full moon.
There's just something that hits different about bathing outside.
I'm sure.
Like an outdoor shower just hits different.
I'm losing circulation at my hand.
You can move it.
I'm going to. Wet noodle. He's just going to get back in that same spot. Hold on. Hold on, podcast family. I'm fighting for space on a pillow with a cat, and I just lost all of it. Anyway.
He was like, you come in my house.
This is his spot, because that's where I moved the blanket from.
Yeah.
Okay. Full moon meditation is a thing, and it's amazing. Meditate on your intentions, visualizing the moon's light, purifying your body and mind. You can do a manifestation ritual. Create a sacred space with items representing your desires. Speak your intentions aloud and visualize them coming to fruition. Release what no longer serves you. Write that shit down on a piece of paper that you're wanting to get rid of. Then burn the paper under the moon as a symbol of letting it go. You can do a full moon love ritual. Use a honey jar spell with rose petals, herbs, and a crystal to manifest love. You can journal on this day. Reflect on what's blocking you from living your best life and how to create space for more love. In general, just get outside. Spend time under that moon soaking up its energy. There's nothing more freeing than, literally, as witchy and as crazy as this may make me sound, dancing under a full moon. So much fun. When you just let go and you're like, I don't care who sees me. Or, in my case, no one's going to see me.
Right, I was going to say, nobody, you could get away with it.
I'm not saying dance naked. I'm just saying dance in general.
Yeah. My neighbors be like...
They just think you're another crackhead on the block.
Yeah.
They'd be coming and knocking on your door for a fix.
Girl, you good?
Okay, so another thing you can do, breath work, visualization. That was hard. Visualize the moon's phases while practicing breath work. And then you can do a self-love ritual, which engage in self-love practices. It specifies mirror work, affirmations, and cleansing rituals. That's not what I thought about when I read that first. Self-love practices. These rituals can help you align your energy with your desires, especially in love. Full moons have historically been seen as times of fertility, abundance, and connection, and modern practices still honor these traditions, making it a powerful time to manifest love and growth. Some full moon affirmations. What you're going to do is set your clear intentions before using affirmations. Set your intentions for what you want to manifest and reflect on your desires and write them down. Repeat the affirmations consistently. Repeat affirmations, especially during the full moon, to rewire your brain and reinforce positive thinking. Visualize and feel as you affirm. Imagine your goals already come into fruition and feel the emotions associated with them. This strengthens your connection to your desires. And then pair that all with meditation. Pair your affirmations with meditation to deepen your focus and enhance the effectiveness of your practice. Say things like, I possess unlimited power and endless abundance. I am the creator of my own life. I release all self-sabotaging. I think I just had a stroke. That wasn't coming out right. I release all self-sabotaging thoughts. I embrace my creative potential. I am worthy of love and acceptance. I trust the universe to guide me to what I need. I let go of all toxic patterns and limiting beliefs. I am open to receiving love and abundance. I feel at peace knowing that I am exactly where I need to be. By aligning your intentions with the full moon's energy, you harness its potential for transformation. The combination of affirmations, manifestations, and full moon rituals will help you release what no longer serves you and invite love and abundance into your life. Anyway, so there's your full moon episode. Do you know, I was sitting there and I was like, why did we choose a full moon episode? Was it, I was really trying to think back on the conversation because I knew that we had a conversation about it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is it because there's a full moon in this month? And I was like, no, dumbass, there's a full moon in every month. What are you talking about?
I think it was just a full moon happened to fall
on that. I do remember us having that conversation now, but
and I've never before been like, have we done an episode about the
moon?
I
don't think so. All? I mean, I feel like we've touched on it here and there, but
we've definitely talked about the moon.
Yeah,
I love the moon.
I just thought about this. So, talking about the moon and the life cycle or whatever of the woman reminded me, you had me watching that TikTok earlier, and that girl was talking about the Aries symbol, and then it was showing the women holding strings in different phases of a pregnancy. Yeah. That's what it made me think of. I was like, that's different.
I was showing there's new theories on the Voynich manuscript that we talked about several episodes back, where they're like, where'd this come from?
Right.
So it could be Da Vinci's toilet book, where he just did his little doodlings while he was doodling.
Doodling and not diddling, I hope.
Or a prophecy, or I don't know. There ain't no telling.
Could be nothing.
Could be just, yeah, it could, like I said, just doodles.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But have we because I know this is not going to come out. I'm sorry, Ziggy. My phone is under here somewhere. Maybe. It's on this couch.
He's like, you're moving too
Found
much.
it.
You're jostling me around.
I'm sorry, you can come back now.
He's like, too late. I'm gone.
What's the moon phase out right now?
The moon phase right now?
I thought I had an app. That's why I was looking for my phone.
I do have an app.
I did, and then I deleted it.
The moon. What are we at? Ooh.
Waning crescent.
14%. The new moon is in 3 days from now. And the full moon is in 17.
All right, then.
We're on the descent.
Well, this seems to be a rather short.
This was a short one.
How long?
30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
After the Zodiac episode, I think
Y'all are due some shorter ones.
Yeah, we probably should have broke that up into 2, but it is what it is. Can't go back.
I start to say it's done been dead.
Yeah.
So since our episode was so short, if y'all are listening to other podcasts, let us know. Let us know what you're listening to, because I'm trying to find some stuff.
I don't know. Are you listening to anything but us? Do you listen to audiobooks?
Yeah.
What kind? I got
Send me
Audible,
some.
So I'm up for recommendations.
Yeah.
I've blown through most of because I've got the lowest tier on Audible where you don't get credits, and I really should just because of the amount of time that I listen to Audible. Because if I'm home by myself, tomorrow, I guarantee I'm gonna play an audiobook or 2 all day until Daniel gets home.
I'll probably start back. I haven't been listening to the other podcasts that I listen to.
I haven't been listening to any podcasts.
I haven't been doing it lately because once I just, I like to have stuff playing in the background while I'm working. I can't sit in silence for very long.
See, I can't work, focus on, typing and stuff if there's background noise.
It does.
Because I will not get anything done.
I have to have something going during work. I can't. I've tried doing it in silence. And some days I can do it. Some days it's okay. And I do find that, when I start my day out some days, by the time lunch rolls around and I come back from lunch and I go to turn my music back on or whatever, the TV or whatever, I'll sit there for a second and I'm like, this silence is kind of nice. Yeah. It's kind of nice. Or if I, at the end of the day, getting closer to the last hour or so, if I know it's about time for the kids to get home from school, I'll turn everything off or down so that I can hear when they walk in the door. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I should have put everything else silent for a while before they got back home, because now there's not going to be any silence until they go to bed.
Right.
And even then, it's really not silent because the oldest one be snoring like a grizzly bear, which, she get it from her mama, but...
I guess, because, I work in a very loud environment.
Yeah.
So, especially if because he's dog sitting this weekend. So, I'm home.
He a Pisces.
In the silence.
He a Pisces when he's here.
Not here. I would rather, I'll clean the house in total silence.
Mm-mm.
And the thought of that drives him insane.
Well, what I think a lot, I don't know if this, I can't think of any specific trauma that this could have been from, but my fear of silence is ridiculous. Yeah. It's not I don't have a debilitating fear, but I am very uncomfortable when it's silent. Yeah. And I catch myself thinking, what if I hear something that I didn't really want to hear? Mm-hmm. So I feel like I got to drown everything out. Yeah. I think that's why I am the way I am with work. If I'm working on the podcast, I don't pull up music or anything to do that. I have to focus on this. But during work, I get stuff done better
Right, like my work is more like I'm up and moving around. So
Yeah.
like I can put on I work faster and better if I have
Yes.
headphones on.
Yes.
I guarantee that car that just revved up, I guarantee that's the one that passed us earlier.
Oh my God.
Anyway, he said all the time, up and down.
That's ridiculous. Now, I realized that I was probably going slow, but we were coming off of a sharp curve that I'm not going to go very fast around.
But like, before you even got here earlier, he probably did all of 50 past the house.
That's ridiculous.
He's going to wreck in this curve up here one day.
He could have wrecked right there. Like,
I mean, it's just...
Anyway.
People drive crazy. But yeah. I thrive in the silence, but like at work, especially with how loud the machines are, if I put headphones on, I can just go to town and get stuff knocked out.
Well,
but I can't do that like during the day because a customer always has to ask me something,
right?
Or Daniel has to say something.
When is he not saying something? He's a Pisces.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I think, but like being at work, I'm at home by myself.
Right.
And my back is to the entire rest of the house. Yeah. And so I don't want to, like, hot take. If somebody's going to, like, sneak into my house, ninja into my house, or even break into my house, and then, like, get me, if I'm going to get got, I don't want to hear it coming.
But also,
I don't want to know about it.
Also, like, makes me think about, my thing that I was talking about the other night, where I can't, like, sleep with the closet door or the bathroom door open.
Yeah, I get it.
Because, like, with the door open,
it's free
hiding in there,
and they can get out real easy.
If the door's shut, there ain't nobody in there.
And even if there was, you'd hear them coming.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to know it's coming.
No.
If I hear it coming, then there is a time frame of panic.
Right. I don't want to be scared.
And then I'm going to get got. Yeah. And then, but like if I don't hear you coming, I didn't know it's coming. I'm not scared. The only thing I know is you just reached around me and for like a split second, and I really didn't even know that happened. I'm dead. Like,
yeah, I'd rather, if I'm going to get murdered,
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Right. Well, follow us on whatever socials we end up with.
As of this moment, we have a Facebook,
Instagram.
There is a TikTok out there, but currently it's unmonitored.
Yeah. YouTube.
Email us at wandersofweird@gmail.com. I think I'm over that. 2025, new year, new me. No more. All right. Okay, bye.
Bye.